people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola from Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, I want to, like I said, pursue the subject of motivation and habits for days. Okay, so still on the subject of motivations and habits. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. When motivation fades, only tiny habits keep you moving. When motivation fades, only tiny habits will keep you moving. Today, I just want to shine a light on a truth that almost every single one of us have we felt it, but we often struggle to admit it. Is that motivation doesn't last. We know it, but we think, nah, it will last for me. We all know the feeling. Waking up on a Monday morning, fired up with energy, you set big goals, you tell yourself this week will be different, and you dive in. Oh, you started well. But by Tuesday night or by Wednesday morning or noon, or maybe even Tuesday evening, like I said before, the fire has cooled. The same excitement that once drove you feels like it has evaporated. Here's the truth. It is not because you are weak, lazy, or uncommitted. It is because motivation was never designed to be permanent. It was never designed to be permanent. Motivation is emotional fuel. And like all fuel, it burns out. If your progress depends only on motivation, you will always find yourself restarting, quitting, and waiting for the next burst of inspiration. Here's where the major shift happens. When motivation fades, and it always will fade. When it fades, the only thing that will keep you moving forward are the tiny habits that you've built over time. Let's just break it down for a minute. All right. We live in a culture all around the world that glorifies motivation. One time I said myself to be a motivational speaker until I moved towards transformational speaking. All right. Social media feeds are filled with hype videos, intense speeches, dramatic before and after pictures. And yes, those things can inspire you, all right? But here's the hidden danger. Inspiration without structure is like fire without wood. It flares up and disappears, all right? Think about it. How many times have you heard someone say, I just need to get motivated again? They are always waiting for that emotional push. But that emotional push, that push never lasts long enough to produce anything tangible, to produce any real transformation. Here's the myth that is important for us to talk about. The myth is that successful people are always motivated. That's a myth. That's false. Successful people are not more motivated than the rest of us. They are simply better at building systems, okay? They are simply better at building habits that carry them when motivation fades. Let's talk about reality. You won't always feel like working out. That's the truth. You won't always feel like eating healthy. You won't always feel like studying. You won't always feel like praying. You won't always feel like writing, building, or creating anything. Life gets noisy. Your body gets tired. Your mind gets distracted. And in those moments, motivation is nowhere to be found. See, if you rely only on emotion, you will give up. But if you have tiny habits, you will still take the next step even when you don't feel like it. That is the difference. Tiny habits are built for the valleys, not just for the mountaintops. They are the quiet actions that keep you steady when your energy is low. Here is why small habits are powerful. Number one, they require almost no motivation to start. Say, for example, I will do 100 push-ups. It requires a big emotional push. But saying I will do 5 push-ups requires none. But once you start, momentum often carries you further. And they create consistency. Small habits create consistency. Doing something small every day is more powerful than doing something big occasionally. One small step daily beats a sprint followed by exhaustion. Do you understand me? They rewire your identity too. Tiny habits, small habits rewire your whole identity. Each small habit is a vote for the kind of person you are. When you floss one tooth, you tell yourself, I am someone who takes care of my health. When you write one sentence, you tell yourself, I'm a writer now. Identity grows from repetition. It doesn't grow from intensity, it grows from repetition. And over time, It compounds. Small habit compounds over time. One small change doesn't look like much today, but multiplied by weeks, by months, by years, boom, it changes everything. Oh, it changes everything. Tiny habits are not about the size of the action. They are about the size of the path you are going. They are about the size of the trajectory that you're going. Let me give you a picture. Motivation is like the spark that lights a campfire. It's exciting. It's dramatic. It feels powerful. But that spark dies in seconds. If you don't add wood, the fire vanishes. Habits are the wood. They are not beautiful. They are not glamorous. They are not loud, but they are steady, they are consistent, and they work. They sustain the fire long after the spark is gone. Motivation may start the journey, but habits finish the journey for you. And why do they matter? See, you might be asking, why do tiny habits succeed where motivation fades? I think it's because of how our brain works. Let me tell you this. Your brain resists big change because it interrupts is pattern over time, and your brain interprets big change as a threat. That is why trying to overhaul your entire diet or fitness routine in one day feels overwhelming. Your brain panics and resistance kicks in. But when you introduce a small habit, so tiny, so small, it feels almost silly. Your brain doesn't fight it, it accepts it. And once you've repeated it enough times, the action moves from conscious effort to automatic routine. It becomes a muscle memory. This is how brushing your teeth becomes automatic, because nobody is motivated to brush every single day. But because it's so small, it's so consistent, it requires no negotiation. That is the level you want for the habits that matter most to you. Let me be practical a little bit. The key is shrinking your goal into smallest possible step. You want to read more? Commit to reading one paragraph a day. You want to exercise more? Commit to one push-up. You want to pray? Commit to 1 minute. You want to save money? Commit to setting aside $1 or $2 every single day. This is the truth. You will often end up doing more. Once you start, one push-up becomes 5. One paragraph becomes 2 pages. But the secret is this: you don't require motivation to start. Starting small is not weakness. Starting small is wisdom, so that you'll be able to last longer. And this is the deeper part. The real gift of tiny habit is not just the actions themselves, it is who you become through them. Every time you repeat a small habit, you reinforce an identity. It is not about being motivated to run, it's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't skip movement. It is not about being motivated to write, it is about becoming the type of person who writes, even if it's only one sentence. Motivation focuses on how you feel. Habit focuses on who you are. And identity always beats motivation every time. Life will test you, my people. There will be seasons when you are tired, stressed, or even discouraged. In those moments, you will never feel motivated. But your tiny habits, if you've built them though, will act like anchors. They will keep you grounded. They will whisper to you, do one small thing today. Don't stop now. And that small thing will keep you connected to progress, even in your darkest seasons. See, you don't need to climb the whole mountain when life is heavy. No, you just need to take one small step. That is what habits allow you to do. Let me just show you how this plays in real life, if I still have time. A man who wanted to start meditating do not begin with 20 minutes. He started with one deep breath after brushing his teeth. And now he practices daily meditation because the habit expands naturally. For example, an executive who wanted to exercise stopped aiming for an hour at the gym. He started with walking 5 minutes every morning. 5 minutes became 10, 10 became 20. Now, fitness is part of his identity. See, all progress came not from motivation, but from habits that are so small, they were undeniable. So these are the steps I want you to take today. Anchor new habits to existing ones. Make it ridiculously small. Celebrate small wins. Remove friction from your life and redefine what success means to you. See, when motivation fades, and it will, tiny habits are what keep you moving. Build habits so small, they don't require motivation. That is the mind shift today. Let those habits anchor you in hard seasons. They compound in value and they will reshape your overall identity. So don't wait for feelings. Build systems. Don't depend on bursts of energy. Build anchors, because life transformation doesn't come from what you do once in a while. it comes from what you do consistently.